On this week's episode of Friend Code, we're doing a little bit of Patron's Pulse. Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Friend Code. I'm your host, Michael Damiani. Today I'm joined by Mr. Kyle Bosman, Mr. Michael Huber.
Let's go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. Go Dodgers, baby. Next season.
Next
We
season?
get 'em
I'm
next
ready.
season.
I'm ready. Spring training, February. Let's go.
Countdown. I knew it was a little bit of a disaster, Huber, when the Yankees didn't make it to play them. Because then I was like, whoever wins,
Yeah, Dodgers, Yankees.
there's no losers here, baby.
Yeah.
Like someone's winning, and I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
When the Astros pushed it, I was like, yikes! I'm
Yikes.
worried now, man. The
They deserved
Astros, but
They
yeah,
deserved
good
it
for
for
them. Good for Houston. Houston needed that, so that's a nice thing.
The Yankees needed that.
The Yankees have
Yankees
won a lot.
didn't need that. They got
The Astros
26 World Series.
Yeah, the Astros haven't won.
They need more.
No.
Kyle
wants
is
it.
being the typical
Oh, yeah.
Yankee
He's a
fan.
New York fan. Okay.
He's being like
Yeah, but Kyle was,
Bosman
like, born
Steinbrenner
there.
Jr. here.
Kyle was born there, so 100% it's fine. If you're a Yankees fan and you weren't born in New York, you don't know anyone that lived in New York, and you never lived in New York, but you're a Yankees fan, it's unacceptable.
You're simply attracted to success. What's wrong with that?
You gotta root for your home
What's
team.
wrong with seeing
Maybe like the
skill
pinstripes.
and saying I like that skillful team?
home
Yeah.
team?
Yo, what's wrong with Kevin
Loyalty.
Durant going to the Warriors
What's
to be a
wrong with
winner?
that? What's wrong with that?
It's very wrong.
Oh, it's
Very
not
wrong.
It's not wrong.
I
Welcome
see.
to Sports Talk.
Yeah,
We would have such a good sports
Nintendo
podcast.
Sports Talk.
wouldn't
Yeah,
we would do really well, guys.
actually we would. And speaking of which, in New York, it depended on certain things. You either were a Mets fan or a Yankees fan. Technically, my father told me where we grew up and stuff, we were supposed to be Mets fans.
Yeah.
First and foremost over
Its
Yankees
father's
fans.
just passing it down. That's what happened to my family.
They love all New York teams.
Sins of our fathers.
Sins of our fathers.
As you might have
Who
guessed.
says that? Big Boss? Shaman?
Everybody.
Ocelot says that.
Literature.
Sins of our fathers.
Sins of our fathers.
I'm about
was
to
that?
bust down song,
No,
dude.
what was the cloning thing? Les
Enfants
enfants terribles.
terribles.
There it is. Yeah.
The terrible
Yes.
children.
Yep.
The genome soldiers are our brothers too. When he's like, "You've been killing your brothers," I was like, "Oh my gosh, this story in Metal Gear is so good."
It is good. Why are you making fun of it?
No, like, that's
I'm
legit.
loving this right now.
It was like great
Yeah.
writing. Like
Okay.
only Kojima could
Yeah.
think of that.
That was really good stuff.
Top tier.
It was really good. Apparently, remember there was also 8 snakes originally. Totally retconned away.
Yeah.
As you might have guessed from the intro of the episode, we're doing a bunch of Patrons Pulse
I wouldn't have
submissions.
guessed that because actually in the intro you said we're doing a little bit.
A little bit.
You said we're doing a little bit of players.
Well, because I don't think we're gonna get to all 38 questions that were
okay.
submitted.
That's
Okay.
a lot of
So
questions.
we're doing our best,
As many as we
as
can.
many as we can. Before we get to that, I like to always open up with a segment called "Dear Nintendo." And we're going back into the past, way back into the past, to one of the first volumes to actually have a mailbag section. Whoa! We're going back to the November-December 1989 issue. Volume 9 with Tetris on the cover. Bunch of like clone kids walking down a sidewalk with like Game Boys and like Tetris things in the sky. I was like, what is going on here? It's a little scary. It's a little intriguing. But
Cautionary tale.
cautionary tale about
Tetris.
the hazards of playing Tetris. So, in this installment of Player's Pulse in Nintendo Power, I am immediately drawn to the headline that says, "A Zelda and Poetry Fan."
oh no, don't do this.
Oh yes, we were doing this.
Okay.
I did it. I defeated the first quest of The Legend of Zelda finally. This may not seem like a big deal to a lot of your fans, but for someone my age, I think that says 7.
It says
75,
dude.
Okay, I thought it was a typo. 75! Sorry to everyone with headphones there. We just murdered your headphones. I feel like I've accomplished quite a lot. I made up a poem about Nintendo while writing in my journal. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for a great game. So hang on. 75 years old
That's a
in
picture of him.
89.
That's him in the bottom?
It's got to be.
Yeah, it's gotta
Yeah,
be.
it's gotta
gotta
be him.
be.
It's gotta be.
Wow, that is 28 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that make him 103. if he's still
103,
alive.
dude. 2017, you can be 103
Yeah.
in 2017. Heck yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try and read this. So this font's a little small. My eyesight isn't the best anymore. My grandson introduced me to a Nintendo game that I play on my TV most of the day. The Legend of Zelda has tested my brain, outwitting many demons throughout the play. Okay. My wife says that I have lost my mind and I have made her a house recluse. That doing so, I have been most unkind. She states that it's a form of spouse abuse. Oh no, we're going into dark territory here.
You picked it. I think he's kidding around. He's kidding around.
All right.
Context.
I told her the alternative is my visiting pubs and possibly becoming. Oh wow, this is going really dark. A drunken. I can't read that word. Like.
I'm gonna have to go up and give you that word.
Yeah.
That's too hard to read.
It looks like Seuss, but I don't.
A drunken souse?
Souse.
S-O-U-S-E.
Yeah.
Souse.
Or go swimming with girls in hot water tubs. So what's wrong with my playing in the house? My wife's answer was a real. What?
I'm so uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is anyway. She called the
It's a
plumber.
real doozy. My
and
wife's
ordered-
answer was a real doozy.
Yeah, doozy. She called the plumber and ordered a jacuzzi. So there goes the old Nintendo game. I guess I only have myself to blame. That is the darkest story.
Oh my gosh.
In the 1980s, legit scary things going on here. This was published in Nintendo Power in 1989.
You gotta read the response. You gotta read
Would
the
this
response.
be published? There's no response.
Yeah. Wonderful poem, Will.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Would this have gone published today?
We got quite a kick out of it. Let us know how you do on the second quest of Zelda.
That was like the
They're all
most.
just
That was like
like-
the most like PR statement
Yeah.
of like we can't really comment on.
Well, hold on. So, do you think the wife? Let's interpret the poem now. Do you think she bought the jacuzzi so that she would be the hot woman in the tub,
I think so.
or go swimming with girls in hot water tubs? And so she's like, "Fine, I'll just buy a jacuzzi."
Me and my
Are you
friends will
happy
go
now?
play.
I wonder if this was all in this guy's head.
It
What
is.
if he made this all up?
All of it?
All of this.
I'm so uncomfortable.
I don't think this was written by. I think this was all an elaborate hoax.
No, clearly this guy, he was 75, which is huge. It's cool that in 1989 there was a 75-year-old person playing Zelda and finishing it. Clearly there's some truth to his wife saying, "What are you doing all the time? Take me out.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Do something with me." And he's like, "Oh, it's better this. Otherwise I'd just be at the bar. I'd be in the hot
Yo,
tub."
this is a cautionary tale, man. Am I going to be like 85 years old just grinding out
Loot
Yeah.
boxes.
Legend of Zelda like 35 at that point?
Yes. Yes.
Just grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a new issue at the time, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
man.
even though this says it's 1989, this is actually like a prophecy.
This is a prophecy.
It's actually
When
telling you about
we
your
are
future.
75, will there still be gaming magazines?
No.
I mean, they won't be like physical print magazines.
No, I'm talking physical.
No.
Not even one.
No.
Not even Game Informer.
No, it'll all be digital or some form. Digital or something we haven't seen yet.
It'll be like on Pigskin. It'll be like the Pony Express delivers our zines on Pigskin. There won't be new games, but they'll tell tales of the games that they used to play before the bombs
You will
dropped.
have a holographic thing that could replicate like a magazine feel, but it's still being projected to you. It's not like a real printed piece of
haptic feedback. You're saying this hologram has haptic feedback.
Like you're gonna go to the bathroom, you're gonna sit down, and you're just gonna put your hands out,
Damiani.
and it just appears in your hand like some project. This thing just goes, just like materializes.
We're not gonna make it that far, man. I just can't see the trajectory.
And then when you're done with it, it just disappears, and you're like, cool, we're out of here. That's how it's gonna work. Just like it's gonna be holographic.
I can't see us making it.
All right, I don't know about.
We're gonna make it. Gotta give him hope.
Pick a good one.
Pick the power player profile, Greg the Absorber.
Yes.
Okay, we'll read this one.
Saluzzi. Greg the Absorber Saluzzi.
So, age 16 from, I believe that's Georgia.
Yeah.
Lilburn, Georgia.
Lilburn, Georgia. Nintendo accomplishments. I've beaten 49 Nintendo games, including some of the toughest, such as Golgo 13, Deadly Towers, Metal Gear, and Ninja Gaiden.
Let's stop there. That is extremely impressive, actually.
Yeah, he's 16.
49 games.
In 1989?
There is no...
In 1989.
I had Metal Gear NES growing up as a kid.
That's a hard
Good
game.
luck.
And I never beat it.
Good luck.
As a kid.
Good
Never
luck. I also finished the Japanese version of Contra and Red Ninja. Editor's note.
Dude, where is the Absorber now, man? Does this guy have a YouTube channel?
I'm Googling.
This guy's so hardcore.
Sorry
to interrupt.
He's
importing games? He's 16?
Importing games, and he sent a videotape of beating those games. Look at that. Future games. My favorite types are role-playing games because I like medieval history.
Nice.
I plan to get Dragon Warrior. I can't read that. And The Adventure of Link soon. Game Boy also looks interesting and fun. Hobbies: Nintendo games, baseball and basketball, chess, baseball cards, and computers. I also like singing and am forming a speed metal band with some friends.
Dude. Next ally.
Ally.
We're growing.
Strategies.
We're getting a 10th.
Strategies. Concentration is important. I let someone else get the phone if it rings in the middle of my games.
Me too. Good call.
Words from the pro. I love Nintendo, and I've beaten just about every game I've faced. Okay, I want to stop right there. The Wizard came out in 1989, and Lucas claims he has all beaten every game, and he goes, and then the girl, Haley's like, you've beaten all 97 of them. So he's like, I've beaten 49.
Mm-hmm. So
but
he's right. I trust this guy over a Hollywood movie.
Luke said 97.
97
but he didn't show 97 games.
Number.
He didn't show 97 games in that collection, though. So I'm a little suspect about Lucas there.
Yeah.
Plus, he used the power glove, which is not something you would use to show off how cool you are.
There's a line in that movie that said you've beaten all 97 games.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
He goes, pick any one. I'm good at all of them. And she's like, you've got all 97 of them.
Yeah.
And he like smiles.
So wait, did you find this guy?
I did. He is very easy to Google, and I don't like. There's too much information about him online. I don't know if I don't know if I should divulge it on this podcast.
That's not.
But I will say he's doing okay.
Nice.
All right, nice,
dude.
Yeah.
Collaboration coming. Easy allies.
We gotta find Saluzzi
and the Absorber.
The Absorber, man.
Absorber.
I want to
absorbing every Nintendo game.
Yes.
Yeah, it takes it all in. His last thing he says, people always come to me for game hints. I beat most of my games in less than a night. I would like to be a video game designer someday.
Is he a video game designer?
He's not a video game designer.
Okay.
But he's still playing. He's still playing.
He played Odyssey.
That's skill. That's intimidation right there.
I'm intimidated by him. No, I'm not.
Because there's an image of him too, dude.
Yeah,
look at this kid.
Stare down.
Yeah.
He's got his 49 games right. Look at that. He's like, Lucas in your little Hollywood movie. Here's what a real game collection looks like.
Dude, it should have been the Absorber.
He had contacts to even know how to import games at age 15 in 1989. You got contacts.
Yeah.
So, from what I remember, in video game magazines, at least in the 90s, some of them had a back catalog section to order games.
Oh, yeah, those were freaky.
And some of them did have imports. Like, you could go through a Japanese import store, through the magazine, fill out the thing, mail it to the address with either your payment information or
Yeah,
whatever, like a check
And
or
they would
something.
show some box arts of some games. Those were crazy, Damiani.
I think that's how people did imports. If you didn't have like an import store or got a new person who could do it, you did it from one of those old magazines.
Those were also like the first I ever saw of like Super Saiyan Goku. Was
Oh.
those weird things where like you could even order figurines of Dragon Ball Z characters?
I feel like that might have been the first place I was exposed to any kind of like anime or Japanese character stuff. Was like something like that.
Those are cool.
Well,
Good players, Pauls.
good stuff. There's a lot more, but we'll save it for another time.
The Absorber is
The Absorber,
crunch.
that's the way to go out. So it was a little slow news week. Not much news. Only thing really happened was EA apparently leaked the Nintendo Directs happening in January. But
That's pretty cool. I mean,
there's not much to say though.
we
Like
all predicted it was going to be January.
yeah.
EA leaked it.
they did an investor meeting or something, and they talked about an upcoming game, and they talked about the marketing strategy. And
It was
said,
Faye. It was
and-
FE.
Faye, yeah. And it's like spot in Nintendo's January Direct.
It was showing like the marketing timeline.
Yeah.
You know how they do
Yeah.
those sometimes? Yeah, so that was like in the middle. It's in the middle of
Yeah.
their marketing timeline.
So January.
January.
That's good for us, baby.
Everyone's been like
Why?
saying January.
Because I like when there's a event every month.
Oh yeah.
So December we got Game Awards PSX. January we got Nintendo
And
Direct.
here, this direct is going to be huge.
It'd be a big one.
Set the tone for 2018
and beyond.
What's coming out on Switch this year?
Yeah.
That is what I want the headline to be.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want them to come out and just say what's coming up.
I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited for that.
Gotta wait though.
Metroid.
Do you think anything's going to happen at the Game Awards that you would talk about for this show?
Zelda
I think
DLC.
we have a question that might cover that at some point.
I'm not answering that question.
Oh, there's a question
Kyle's
about
too
something
close.
I think I'll speak about.
Okay.
But let's get into the questions here,
All right.
because
Questions
every time
only. Let's do it.
I've in the past I've promised twice before a patron's pulse.
You're
like,
right. You
heavy,
have been
and it has
promising
not
this for a while.
happened.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it's finally happening.
Okay.
Starting off with Straw Hat Ninja. Greetings, allies.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Currently, the Switch is selling very well,
Hotcakes.
and the games are doing so well that publishers are rushing to get their games on that platform.
Capcom.
Does this mean that graphics are overvalued and players care more about gameplay convenience as a whole?
Yes.
Love and respect.
The answer is yes.
The answer is not so binary. It's both.
And I just want to say,
Yes and no, Kyle.
before you dive into your answers real quick, Jesse Abraham commented almost immediately saying,
okay.
Posed this question to help people decide
Okay.
on where they stand. If you had the choice to play the next Zelda on an Xbox One X or Switch hardware built from the ground up, which one would you want?
My
So-
answer is Xbox One X.
See?
That's my answer.
Yeah.
But that game doesn't exist
Yeah, it's not happening.
because Nintendo doesn't prioritize graphics because it doesn't benefit them.
Very true.
Art style.
Yeah.
That art style, baby.
They keep through the reinforcement of sales, of hardware sales, they keep to be proven right that it's not that important, that it's not the most important thing. And I guess you could argue the opposite. You could say that Sony's been reinforced for their performance of the PS4, that it was a strong machine, is one of the reasons perhaps why it's done better. But I think in Nintendo's case, they're getting by without it, without a highly performing machine.
But how much of that is just loyalty from the fans and the consumers that are saying no matter what, even if
That's
Super Mario,
the Wii U. I would say that is the Wii U. I think the Wii U sold it's 10 mil. Did it get to 10? I think that is the core Nintendo fan base who will buy anything.
no matter what.
Yeah,
But now that Switch is portable,
yeah. They're
getting
getting those
those-
people and more. That's what I think. You're
totally.
right.
I'm with you actually on that. I'm with you.
I mean, I think the answer has been, the writing's been out there that the portability is why people. I mean, yes, portability is what helped it sell, why it's selling so well. But now that it's reached that point, there's just this frenzy out there that everyone wants a Switch. Like Nintendo achieved again what it did with the Wii and DS, where everyone feels like they need to have the system, and you just got to get games on it. It would be very interesting if this data was ever available. Like a lot of these games are selling well on Switch, at least digitally. We see like the eShop stuff. We see third party. By the way, regarding our side bet, the informal one.
Yeah.
We have to wait for NPD, but we all agreed that Rocket League, I think, would be the best. I think Rocket League destroyed like the eShop when I looked last.
Nice.
Like, I think it was like ahead of Mario maybe, or just behind Mario.
That's
it was like
crazy.
It was 1-2, and then like I think Skyrim was like right behind them as well.
I did not think it would beat Mario. I think we all said Mario aside.
I forget.
That's crazy.
I forget if it was ahead or right behind Mario. But anyway,
Cool.
I think now that everyone wants one, like the thing I want to see the data on would be nice is these games might be selling well. Average play time. Like, like someone buys Rocket League on Switch. They just want to play it for a second, or are they really putting a lot of time into it?
They just want to play it for a second. Yeah.
Like, do what you want to do. It's not the biggest deal. Like, not going to say that just because people aren't spending a lot of time on your system, but still buying a lot. I think that's more
playtime. That's a funny thing you bring up.
Yeah.
Switch it's in such a good place right now. You know, the price is right. It's $300. You compare that to Xbox One X, which is $500. You know, like, oh, you can get a normal Xbox and a PlayStation for like $300 as well, right? But you know, there are better versions of those consoles. Whereas you go out, you can get the best Switch possible, $300, and there's some killer games to be played. Mm-hmm. You know, and I find myself playing the Switch far less than I play my PlayStation 4 because, you know, I play a lot of third-party games and I'm always jumping and moving on to something else. But Switch first-party games. And now with the recent resurgence of third-party games on there too. But I still, like, I guess the portable aspect is like the holidays just happened, right? So I think the Switch, like, I go through these, like, rediscovering phases with the Switch where it's like Mario came out, so it was like just me and my Switch and Mario, and then it's like, all right, see you later, Switch, you know, nothing really to play for now. And then the holidays came and it's like going down to see my family, I'm gonna bring my Switch along, so it's like you just rediscover it, and it's just awesome. It just fits in its own little box, you know. It's so hard to compare it to like PlayStation and Xbox and that whole thing because they're just doing something so different.
Yeah, and so like back to like Huber's first answer, when we're talking about like do graphics matter, yes or no, the answer is both, because every single Xbox One X sale is saying that graphics matter.
Oh yeah,
it's purely a graphics play, and so yeah, when those do sell, it's for graphics, and graphics do matter. But yeah, I don't think Nintendo made the bad move on the Switch, obviously.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sacrifice, dude, portability.
Yeah,
of course. I want to say the most important part of portability. You list a bunch of like good reasons right there, Huber.
Holidays, dude. Everyone right now, man, is like Thanksgiving, dude. Switch time, baby.
The deep dark secret, Huber. The holidays, good time. Thanksgiving, good time to bring it. The deep dark secret is you're sitting at your desk, you're playing your little Mario Odyssey on your screen or whatever, and nature calls. And you're like, I want that moon, baby.
Oh, we're not talking about this.
We're not going down this road.
You know where the Switch is going.
Full disclosure right now. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
I have not brought my Switch.
It's too nice.
Into the restroom.
It's too pristine.
I've never done it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. It'll take a while till I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with it.
It's too pristine.
It's too pristine. We'll get the data on that. No, just kidding.
Yeah, how long?
The average play time. But last thing on the question about like publisher or developers now scrambling to put everything on there.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of that. You saw like Capcom's statement saying, we just had no idea. It was pretty reasonable. Mm-hmm. I think this has been said before at some point by some of us. Mm-hmm. I think after the Wii U, developers and publishers were right to be pessimistic. I think they're being very cautious.
Damiani, I'm really excited about your port reports, and I've been lagging behind on one because of holidays and stuff, but I'm doing one on LA Noire.
Oh, nice.
And I think LA Noire and those older games occupy such a sweet spot for the Switch, because when you play them on the handheld, on the go and portable, they still look great because they're older games, admittedly, you know? But I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 yet, but I hear some criticisms where if you play it undocked, it does not look that good. So I think there is a sweet spot of like how good it looks undocked. Like Mario and Rabbids has a great art style, and it's not pushing boundaries of like scale and open world and how big it is, you know, but it looks so good undocked. So I think there is like a balance of how good you can get a game to look on Switch when you're on handheld mode.
Wolfenstein 2 will be pretty interesting, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be one
like
of the
Doom.
first big tests.
Yeah.
Doom looks good, but it's kind of the worst way to play Doom, you know. But they prioritized 60 frames on there. Is it 60 frames?
No,
is it 30?
Doom is not
Undocked,
60.
yeah, it's
no,
30,
it's 30
yeah.
frames.
Yeah.
No, it's 30 frames.
It runs really well, but it looks...
It's definitely a downgrade. I think the hardest thing with Doom, real quick, is like just the price. It's so you can get so cheap.
Yeah.
The better looking version for cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Switch version asking you to pay full price for portability.
True, yeah. And LA Noire was a little more expensive on Switch as well.
No, LA Noire has like some extra functionality that utilizes the features of the Switch, like the touchscreen stuff, apparently.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious, like if Wolfenstein 2, they try and go a little bit more out with motion controls for aiming with the Joy-Cons or something like that. When you're
dude.
Because someone was saying in Revelations, I believe the Joy-Con aiming is amazing in it, and people are like, you need to play with the Joy-Con aiming. Apparently, like if you hated Wii controls and the precision of Wii, like it was a little janky. Like the Joy-Cons are much more precise and smooth. Like
what the Wii ruled for Resident Evil.
No, people liked it, like an RE4. People were like,
the Wii version,
some people were like, it makes the game even too easy because you have so much control.
Yeah.
But like Wii wasn't the most precise with its aiming.
It is the most precise.
No.
Yes.
No, there were some like small issues with it.
If we're talking Resident Evil, it is the most precise.
People
said it's too easy.
I'm not comparing it to a
version.
version.
But that was a PS4 version.
I'm saying
it looks
like
real good.
I'm saying sometimes the pointer controls in general on Wii, the original Wii, sometimes you'd have to like recenter it and stuff. Like there's some like calibration stuff. There were some issues with it.
Krauser, man.
Like the Joy-Cons. Krauser. What'd Krauser do?
He used to be a good guy.
Kicked my butt is what he did. I blame the input lag.
Yeah.
Failed those quick time.
It was just the quick times.
It was input lag, man. It was input lag. Check the tape.
I hate having to like listen to those lines every time again when you fail. It's like, oh, Leon, no. So stupid. The game. Anyway, let's move on. I'm sure we'll get.
I gotta go, Damiani. We got
37
more. Was that one question?
Yeah, we're not going through all this.
Yeah.
So we got 38 questions. We're not gonna get through all of them. We're gonna go through as many as we can.
Yeah.
And apologies to the next person. I'm just gonna give you a shout out for your name, but you forgot to write your question. You just wrote hold because it sounded like you would come back and write your question. But Ace Jackson 777, you forgot to write your question.
No.
You
He's
wrote hold.
He's quoting Braveheart, dude.
Hold! All right, that's Huber's interpretation is much more generous than mine.
Good quote.
So there we go. Next up, Andrew Knoll asked, Season's greetings.
Ooh.
Luigi's Mansion is one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time. I played the first one a ton when I was younger, and now I enjoy playing Dark Moon with my son on the 3DS. What do you guys think of Luigi's Mansion, and do you guys think a Switch version is coming? I can only hope. Love and respect, Andrew.
When Luigi's Mansion 2 was announced, I thought there was no way. You know, Luigi's Mansion seemed like such a one-off.
Yeah.
And so when Dark Moon was announced, that was so cool.
I was like, what?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes with 90% certainty that within the next 3 years, there will be a new Luigi's Mansion game.
Yeah, baby. I agree because Luigi's Mansion keeps showing up. You got the new 3DS game. You get the Smash Brothers stages.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm forgetting one other instance where Luigi's Mansion showed up.
It's like his power up in Smash or the tennis game.
And the Wii U launch game or whatever
had
a mode that was sort of like Luigi's Mansion.
There's an arcade game for Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, so they don't want to retire that.
Oh yeah, Kyle, have you like?
It sucks. It's not. Very good. It's actually very bad. But it's cool. It's cool that there's an arcade game for it. Yeah. I think it's a very valuable franchise. I think the 3DS game sold very well.
And critically acclaimed.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
I never played the original. I touched the original GameCube, Luigi's Mansion. Didn't play through it.
What were you doing at the time? Just playing Star Wars?
What?
When the game came out, what were you doing?
Oh, no, I was biased against the Luigi game. I was like, where's my Mario game? This is dumb.
Oh, that's what everyone was. Everyone was so bitter.
You know
I was
what? I was
a
that
kid.
too. I 100%
Yeah, I was
Everyone,
I was a
dude.
kid. I was like, where's my Mario game?
Me too.
And it was my
It's
uncle.
not even platforming? What is this?
My
Okay,
uncle
cool.
got that game
Yeah.
for me, and I was like,
You're like, what is
fine.
it? He's got a vacuum?
Yeah.
Why is this game like 3 hours long? Like, what
It's
is
just like,
this?
You don't get it, fine, but I'll take it, and then I love it. And
But then
it's just
Dark
so
Moon
fun.
came out. Everyone was
Yeah.
saying how good it was.
Yeah.
And I remember all the praise that the original Luigi's Mansion got. Especially
We
years,
need another one.
years after the fact. So I was like, okay, Dark Moon's really good. Played it. And now I am going to agree with you, Kyle. There has to be. There's
Like-
another Luigi's Mansion coming.
Yeah.
Not enough Haunted Mansion games.
Yes.
We need it.
Yeah.
You know, we need a Haunted Mansion.
Mario Kart's got a ton of Luigi's Mansion references.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
there's just
probably
so
what I
many.
was thinking.
There's
Yep.
so many, yeah.
Look forward to
best.
it. Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, Jolly Spooky.
Jolly Spooky,
Jolly
man.
Spooky,
it's
yeah.
like one of the best vibes
Yes.
of all time.
Luigi's little mannerisms in that game from Dark Moon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just everything he does. Yeah, so good. Luigi, underrated.
He's a very good, he's actually a really good protagonist for a scary game because he is terrified all the time.
Yeah.
He does not want to go in that house. But
If
he's
Mario
doing-
was there, he'd be like, I can get Call of Duty this.
oh yeah,
Bust open this door,
Ho-ho!
slow motion,
I'm
suck
having
up the
fun.
ghosts.
Here I go. Yeah, it's like, come on, chill out for a sec. There's stakes. There's
High
stakes when
stakes.
his hand shakes.
Never know what's behind that next door, Luigi.
Really good, like, door opening animations in the GameCube one. It looks so good.
Yeah,
Looks like Pixar, dude.
Looks like Pixar.
good secrets.
Yes.
Really good secrets.
Exploring those mansions. 'Cause Dark Moon has multiple.
Yeah.
So finding every last.
The snow one, man, that's a cool game. That's a really cool game.
Yeah.
Next up, Cloisterance has a question for us.
Okay.
What are your hopes for Zelda's story DLC? Would you prefer a post-Ganon Hyrule cleanup or a few pre-finale flashbacks?
No.
What's more likely?
The
Though
second
Nintendo
one.
seems to have dashed any hopes of a playable Zelda, how would you like her to have played? Perhaps an agile, ranged fighter with more stamina and less health. Love and respect, Cloisterance.
How would you get a lot of stamina in that game? Once you get
You can upgrade. Yeah.
once you're at like 2 wheels, you got enough
Oh yeah.
stamina to climb
And then
the
there's
biggest-
all the
yeah.
there's a lot of the tricks in the game to like have infinite stamina. Like you can do especially climbing.
Oh, and like drinking
Keep
while you're
eating,
climbing
yeah,
and stuff?
keep
Well,
eating.
not even using potions. There's like there's a way to like slip and regain, and there's basically a way to keep increasing your stamina while climbing.
I would want her to have different spells. Link, for some reason, has 3 weird spells of like one, create a block of ice. I would
Oh,
want
the
Zelda
runes.
to just have like she can shoot flames and stuff. You know, I'd want her to have some cool. magic.
So in the comics and the cartoons, Zelda was like a magic wielder. Like
This
the
is not canon.
The
Don't do
Triforce
this.
of Wisdom, she could use magic spells, kind of like
she's a
Ganon
magic
could
user
too.
in every Zelda game. You don't have to cite the cartoons.
So I was gonna okay. Well, I was,
What? What'd you got?
Kyle dashing my
No, what do you
hopes
have?
there.
Do you have a specific misspell?
Never mind.
What do you got?
She had she can make like an energy lasso almost like Wonder Woman could. To like yeah, and
Energy
then
lasso would be
and then
cool.
like before the light arrows existed, like her bow, she could like use like special arrows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh wow, she's better than Link. Like Link's got a rinky dink bow. She's got like this cool looking bow and stuff.
Yeah.
Like she could use like she was like this. She specialized in the magical items. Like she knew what they did and can use them. When Link sometimes like, what does this do, Zelda? Here, this is like it does this. I was like, whoa, Zelda's kind of cool.
Yeah. The thing is, she is better than Link, but she doesn't have the courage that Link has, and that's the reason why it's not her game.
Oh, I see. But
Mm-hmm.
she has the wisdom to get the lawyers to sign the rights to have her name in every title, so she
Yes.
gets a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
While Link's name is kept off the billing there.
So while it's fun to talk about how she would be a playable character, I see it as kind of just an impossibility.
Yeah, it couldn't work
It
like
would
that.
really throw off the Triforce,
It
you
would,
know?
yeah, like. Yeah,
Who said that again?
as Anuma said, like as Anuma said, yeah, so it's like if Link's not the hero, what is he
Yeah.
doing, guys?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what is he doing?
Even though the Triforce is never mentioned in the entirety of Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
it's still
It's
there.
cool.
It's still really
It's
the
cool.
foundation of
It's
the whole
fine.
thing.
My my hope is that they take a risk, a big risk, because we have Breath of the Wild. Nothing is going to taint that. Nothing is going to stain that. We got a potentially game of the year, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. DLC is a time when you can experiment, when you can mess around, when you can do something crazy and wacky and fun and out there. Like, I would love to see where you play as completely different character. Like, even play as the cool villainous villager people, the Akatsuki characters. What are those guys called? With like the cool masks, the ninja guys?
Yeah, what are those called?
Like, can you imagine if you played as one of those guys, like setting up the events before, like a prequel or something, like pre-Breath of the Wild? It'd be so cool. Or if you play as just like a guard at some village in the game or some town, and you're off doing, you have to go do something and save someone. Like,
it's killing me. I can't remember the name of their organization.
Damiani?
Nothing. He's got nothing.
I want Kyle to suffer.
He doesn't know.
Great.
He doesn't know it.
We're just gonna call him the Akatsuki.
Yeah.
That's a better name, by the way.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to take
name.
place after any DLC. Like, if it's just like, we're filling in the blanks of that one portion of the game. It's like, I'm not interested every single time. Yeah.
And is there the Champion DLC and one other one, or are we just getting... So there's the Champion stuff and one other one?
No.
There's
the Champion stuff is the DLC.
So you're playing as them, and it's prequel.
But the thing is, when I said you were playing as them, everybody said, no. Nintendo said they're not playing as them.
Oh.
That's what I've been corrected on
so
multiple
you're
times.
probably Link, and you interact with them each or something?
Oh, maybe like you use their powers, and they're like on your back or something. Yeah, they're with you.
Yeah.
Maybe. What do you got, Damiani? You have theories.
Yeah,
Got
theories.
theory time here.
Okay,
Go
here
with
we
me
go.
in this.
Okay.
So I like your theories about like
Take a risk.
the lowly characters having like
Yeah.
a big role, like stepping in.
Exactly. Unexpected.
So we're in December now. Nintendo said this DLC would be out by the end of the year.
Whoa.
We still don't have a
Clock's
date.
ticking.
So come with me on a little journey here.
Okay,
now.
where are we going?
The Guardian Pack Amiibos came out on November 28th. Those had to go in production by a certain point because they're physical products, they're toys. So they had to keep a schedule. November 28th was most likely when the Champions DLC was supposed to come out. But Nintendo, they got too ambitious with the story DLC, Huber.
Playing as Ganondorf.
Kept getting bigger and bigger until they're like, this is more than just a 1999 part of a 1999 season pass. This is an expansion. This is big. This is like Uncharted Lost Legacy big. We let's fully flesh this out and make it happen. But it's gonna happen next year. It's not coming out this year.
I'd be cool with that. 100%. Let's go.
And what it will be about. You will play as Princess Zelda. They are taking time to work out her mechanics. So you will play as Link and Zelda.
Character swap.
It'll be massive,
One button.
massive new areas added to the Hyrule map.
Frozen
like
Wilds.
Big, not just one dungeon.
Frozen area.
Multiple dungeons. Significant story. Big story stuff.
This is just Breath of the Wild 2 at this point. No.
It's Breath of the Wild 1.5. It's pretty much Breath of the Wild 1.5. It's gonna
$20 season pass.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's gonna be a $29.99 game.
It's going to pump it up $10.
It's gonna be $29.99.
But if you pre-ordered it, you get it for $20.
The trailer ends. You hear. You see a train stop on some tracks,
Oh my gosh.
and then Linebeck peers out of the window and says, "Hey,
That's how you really want to end it, Kyle.
2018." Yep.
Kyle,
Linebeck's back, baby.
Kyle, I'm
Linebeck is
crafting
back.
this masterpiece.
I
I'm
know.
giving the fans what they want.
Yes,
Breath
the
of the
train.
Wild, and
Everybody
then
said, "Where's
you
the
just
train?"
have
Nobody wants the
you have
train.
you have this massive Hyrule.
Why
You
did
said
they take
like
the trains out of Zelda?
where'd the tracks come from? Are they just spirit tracks? Does magic tracks just come up?
Yes.
So the spirit tracks just comes crashing through,
Uh-huh.
and Lineback gets off a train instead of a boat.
Hey.
He comes off a train. And he's like,
That's how it works in
hey.
Spirit Tracks. Yes.
But Lineback,
Linebeck's in both games.
Yeah. the boat guy,
Yes.
not the train guy.
Yeah.
And he's in both games,
He's
huh?
in both games. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Spirit Tracks is 100 years after Phantom Hourglass.
It's like Beetle. It's like Link and Zelda.
Oh, so this Lineback keeps getting reincarnated
Yes.
then.
Yes.
Okay.
Linebeck is an important character in the Zelda franchise. It is strange he's not in Breath of the Wild. Obviously, they're saving him for the DLC.
Okay, so Lineback confirmed. Is it playable?
You cannot play as
Okay,
Linebeck.
no playable Lineback.
But you can issue him commands.
Okay, so it's gonna be a side quest thing, like where you got to build tracks across Hyrule.
Yes.
Resource management. You got to get Lineback materials and stuff. So like, forget the new village you made. Forget that. That was like That was peanuts. That was
Yes.
child's play.
Yeah.
You're going to build an entire infrastructure for revolutionizing the travel between Hyrule and the different lands.
Yeah.
And that is the main story. And as Princess Zelda, like, this is going to bring jobs to Hyrule.
Yeah.
This is going to, like,
It's
we
a
got
lot
new
of
form
train
of commerce.
stuff. It's a lot of train stuff,
All right.
really, yeah.
All right. But they got to pass it through the Sheikah budget first.
Yes.
Okay.
I just want to play as Ganondorf.
That'd be so cool.
They need to make a game where you
He's gone.
go.
He's gone, you know?
A friend of mine,
Play as
Huber, had an
Ganondorf.
idea that like they need to make like a game where Ganondorf, it's like a melee God of War thing, where he plays like Ganondorf and he's fighting like the Sheikah, like invading the Gerudo Desert.
Yeah.
So it's just him like with the Gerudo warriors fighting against the Sheikah. Like takes place like real early and stuff when he's still a human.
Heck yeah.
Like still learning his magic power. So like he's not super OP.
Yeah.
Like he can't just like one shot everyone like he probably could with the Triforce's power. But he can use like certain magic abilities, physical strength. Got that big. He can use either dual wielding blades like the Wind Waker, or he can use that big one like claymore looking thing.
yeah.
It's huge.
I got a question, Damiani. Ganondorf is the only man in a race that creates only females, only women. Does that play into the story? Does he have romance options?
I think Ganondorf. I seriously think
Yeah.
he might. I was gonna say Linebeck, but they never really meet, so that wouldn't be right.
Ganondorf and Linebeck?
No, that they're not in the right game. I'm gonna have to go with.
What if we go like with father-son drama?
There's no father. That's the thing.
Ganondorf wants to be Link's father figure.
What?
And they start like getting close.
Reluctantly. I think
Reluctantly.
it's like Piccolo.
Yeah.
He's like has to reluctantly be
yes.
Link's
Now
father.
there's the
Yeah.
Dragon
There we
Ball.
go.
He's
Yes.
waiting for the Dragon Ball to come
Yup.
in.
Yep.
Waiting for the Dragon Ball to come in.
And Ganondorf's got to like train him.
Yes.
Huber, what if in a Zelda game, Link, it's about like the Triforce of Power, and it's slowly corrupting Link. And what if the final, based on your choices at the end of the game, or throughout the game, by the end of the game, if you become so corrupted, you actually become the next Ganon. Like it curses you, like you just become.
That'd be such a cool ending, dude.
You can become the next Ganon.
Dude, if Breath of the Wild ended like
And
that, like
you start
game
a
of the
you
year,
start a
baby.
new
Sign me up.
playthrough, and the new playthrough treats it like you are now a new Link who has to stop the previous one who became Ganon.
That's cool.
And that's how that would present like the other alternative. Like,
It's very Miyazaki of you,
Oh my gosh.
Damiani.
Yeah, that was Dark Souls for sure.
all right, I think we've gone down this rabbit hole a little too
Yeah.
far now.
A
Yeah.
little too deep.
little
We're
too
stuck
deep.
in the rabbit hole.
Good stuff
If
though.
it's just silly meeting the Guardians prequel stuff, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Me too.
I
Me too.
won't play it.
Me too.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
I will not dive back in to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild if the DLC is prequel Guardian stuff. I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
I'm with you, especially at this point.
Yeah.
Where the heck, how long it's taken? That's pretty low too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do the amiibo do now if you place them in the game?
I haven't tried it.
Oh.
They have to give you chest at least right now.
Sure.
But I don't know if they do anything else. I haven't really. Well, the problem is mine are not opened, so I'm not going to open
okay.
those. So
Got to keep them mint and packaged.
anyway, yeah, I do. Ian Alexander asks, Mario Odyssey is kind of like a weird reverse Kirby game. Instead of sucking in enemies and using their powers with different hats on Kirby, it's Mario throwing his hat on them and going into their bodies and use their powers.
True, dude.
So you think people would
Wow.
be raving about it as much if it were a Kirby game instead? Love and respect, Ian.
No, only because not as many people play Kirby games as Mario, so the voices wouldn't be as loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody plays Mario. The voices of the internet is so loud when it comes to Mario. Kirby slides under the radar. So I think that reason alone.
I love Kirby. Love Kirby.
Yeah.
He is not as appealing as Mario, frankly.
Yeah.
Just as simple as that. I would love a 3D platforming Kirby game, though. Oh, I'd love
one of an ally, I don't know who it was,
Okay.
did some 3D animation where Kirby was walking. Did you guys see this?
No.
Oh my god, I should have saved this. I gotta find it. If you're out there, ally, who did this, there's some animation where Kirby is walking, holding Bowser's hand. Bowser was behind walking with Kirby and gives Kirby just like his finger because he's so huge. So he's like, it's like Bowser walking with his one finger holding Kirby's hand, and like Kirby's walking. It's adorable. I could go for that game. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A Kirby and Bowser team up game.
Yes. Like Bowser convinces Kirby that he's a good guy.
Exactly.
Yes.
Kirby's like, okay, cool.
So you're like incidentally destroying planets for Bowser's bidding. That'd be so fun. That'd be really, really fun. But Bowser slowly grows attached to Kirby.
Yes. And becomes a good guy for real.
Yeah. Okay. We wrote it.
Yep.
Next.
And then in future games, now Bowser's good. There you go. And then we can move on from villainous Bowser.
It's time to move on.
It's time to move on.
to move on.
Dude, he's been evil long enough,
Yeah.
dude. We need the redemption. Let's go.
3D Kirby.
Yep. Give me that.
Sure.
Yo,
Give-
Mario
give-
Odyssey.
Give it to Kyle.
Mario Odyssey might have been like the most evil Bowser ever. Like new lows for Bowser.
New lows.
I really don't think even like a super good 3D Kirby will ever be as well liked as a 3D Mario. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh, man, I wonder what that is, Kyle. What is that, man? You just look at a pink blob of goo and you're just not into it?
I'm into it, but
No,
I understand why people aren't.
Yeah.
I
Like the
understand. I get
best
it.
Kirby game
Yeah.
will never be as hyped as like the worst Mario game. Do you think that's fair?
No, because worst Mario
Has some lows.
He
He's got
hits
some
some
lows.
lows.
Some
He
dark
dips.
times.
He dips.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hotel Mario.
Yeah. He dips.
Don't think
in
that
there.
was hyped. Some of Kirby games.
Kirby, man. Triple Deluxe.
Professor Metal Gear.
Ooh, nice.
Saw Professor Metal Gear at a Target.
Nice.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Wow.
Getting some games?
Just in passing.
Oh, okay. With Mario and Zelda making their Switch debut in 2017, which major Nintendo franchise will you think takes the spotlight in 2018?
Easy. Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon. Done.
No, one. You got to pick one. This is the question. Like,
No, the
which,
question's set up too.
Which major Nintendo franchise, singular,
But the question's
will
set up
take
too.
the spotlight? Only one could be in the spotlight, baby.
It's Pokemon then. It's Pokemon. Sorry,
Pokemon
Metroid.
taking the spotlight
Yep.
for Metroid.
Yep.
Ooh, Huber's got a
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong
Yep.
over Pokemon.
2018.
I don't think Pokemon's coming out next year.
Okay.
So
You're lost, buddy.
When's the last time Retro did anything?
it would be Donkey Kong Country
Tropical
Returns.
Freeze.
Tropical Freeze.
How long ago was that?
Wii
That
U
was
2013? 2013 or 2014?
Because it went against Hearthstone Game of the Year in 2014.
Okay, 2014. Oh, that's not enough time, Huber. Give 'em more
4
time.
years,
Give 'em more
dude.
time.
4
They
years.
need 5
Gotta
years.
craft-
4 score
They gotta-
and years ago. Let's go.
Gotta complete that trilogy.
It's Donkey
We
Kong.
need that new DKCR trilogy, baby.
2018 is the perfect year for
Retro
Donkey
has
Kong.
not said a lot, but they have said their next game isn't Donkey Kong.
They did.
Yeah.
Kyle, why you got to do that to me, man?
Because they're moving on to something cooler, dude. Let them.
They're going
Moving
to
on
make
to
like
something
Mighty
cooler.
Number 10 or something,
They're
dude.
not making
No,
Mighty
Mighty
number
number
10.
10, no.
They're making a new game.
I hope so.
They might have lied too.
The world,
People have been
They
known
might
to
have
lie.
lied. You're right.
the world needs retro, man.
Yeah.
The
We
world
need 'em.
needs
Yeah.
retro.
The world is a better place with retro games.
Mhm.
If you haven't played Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, I highly recommend it.
They're not going to.
pretty
Here's
good.
the thing. If you haven't played it yet, there's nothing I can tell you.
It's
Yeah.
just bringing it to
Because
Switch.
I've
hooking
said-
up the Wii U
Yeah.
is like ridiculous at this point.
I've tried so hard. It's just at this
Just
point,
bring it to Switch.
they're not going
Yeah.
to try it. They're not going to try it. It's okay.
Bring it to Switch.
I get it.
Yeah,
You can make it happen.
we'll just stream it.
I'll go with Metroid then. You got Pokemon, Donkey Kong. I'll go with
Get
Metroid.
Okay.
Nice. I also think Advance Wars is coming back in 2018.
That'd be cool.
Whoa.
I'm going to throw that out there.
Okay.
The Switch is the perfect device
Yeah.
for Advance Wars.
It really is.
So let's make that happen.
Yeah, there's that inspired by Advance Wars game coming still. Forget the name of it.
Oh, what is that game?
Yeah.
What is that game?
Yeah. It's basically has the same art style.
Yeah.
It's sprite based. It's cool.
Nice.
Trying to remember.
Advance Wars.
Day of blanks for me. A good day.
Day of Blanks.
A day of
You
blanks.
got a long one here.
Let's bring it on.
Charlie Gilchrist Hey, allies. I'm going to hold my phone for this one.
Okay.
I wanted to pose a theory regarding the Virtual Console on Nintendo Switch.
I have a theory.
I keep hearing the theory that Nintendo has been pushing Virtual Console back to sell the NES and SNES classics. However, there is some interesting information that makes me think otherwise. Reggie recently said that their issues with NES Classic stock came from their market research.
Reggie who?
Reggie Fils-Aimé. They were simply wanting to sell some novelty boxes to make some money on nostalgia, so they looked at other plug-and-play consoles, like the small Atari and Sega boxes you see on shelves. Those numbers were pretty low, so they didn't have huge sales expectations for the product. Obviously, the NES Classic became a huge collector's item, and everyone lost their mind trying to find one. This is where it gets strange to me. The usual consumer of plug-and-play consoles is adults that don't play video games anymore. Who don't play video games anymore that buy them for kids.
Wait,
hold
adults don't play video games anymore?
The plug and plays, but yeah, we gotta. All right, I mean, keep going with it.
I'll keep going.
Don't play video games.
Specifically the plug and play, saying that the adults simply buy those for kids and don't play the plug and plays themselves.
So if these boxes were meant to be
adult.
sold to casual consumers, why did they have drastically increased emulation quality, rewinding, robust save states, and higher quality user interfaces? The user interfaces also happen to look very similar to the Switch's UI and are perfect for touch input. Allies, I believe that Nintendo has been developing these packed interfaces and high-quality emulators specifically for the Nintendo Switch. However, the commitment to quality is making it take longer than expected. I think Nintendo decided to package these emulators with a small set of games and sell them as novelty boxes to essentially pay for the extended development of this new robust Virtual Console solution for the Nintendo Switch. Am I crazy for thinking this would be the case? Thanks, Charlie.
Charlie, I like the optimism.
So, I like Charlie putting all that effort into putting out that theory out there. I'm pretty sure on previous episodes I've also posed the same thing, sort of, not quite as eloquently as that.
Yeah, well said.
But basically because mine's more pessimistic and negative. Because of how long Nintendo's taken with this Virtual Console, the fact that they just wouldn't put out digital games to buy right now. Like, look at those Neo Geo Classics. They're not really a Virtual Console, just on the eShop.
Yeah.
Nintendo couldn't at least just do that if they were really having real problems. So I was like, when this Virtual Console service comes out, wherever it is, it better be as good, if not better, with the interface as NES and SNES Classic. Like, when I go to my NES library of games, it better be presented like that. It better have all the functionality of that the NES Classic has.
Totally.
And SNES Classic. Otherwise, thumbs down. Thumbs down to you, Nintendo. So I was like, okay, maybe they're still perfecting it. Maybe they're taking their time. Maybe they got to get it working on all the way up to, say, GameCube. And like, holy crap, save states and rewinding game, like, that's probably a little bit more technically ridiculous or challenging, not ridiculous, but technically challenging.
If you get N64 games on there, man.
Yeah, even N64, like,
it's legit.
There you go. And like a full library. So it's like, maybe they do. It's gonna wow people, hopefully. So that would be nice. I'm not entirely sold. That's what's really going on there.
For me, gut reaction.
Yep.
I just think 2017 was a banner year for Nintendo. It was such a phenomenal year. They had such an excess of quality games. Why not push it to 2018 when you may not have as many games coming out? You don't have a Mario and you don't have a Zelda, period. You just don't have them. Your two biggest games that either one of will sell your entire system. You save it for 2018. That's when the internet stuff is going up. The whole new internet,
their online services,
online services for Nintendo and Nintendo Switch. So I think just timing it around that and timing it to 2018 to kind of pump up Nintendo's year. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I'm on the pessimism side.
Okay.
I think that we can't forget that Nintendo is bad at this.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous that the year has gone by without the online service, and I think the online service is intrinsically entwined with the Virtual Console service, whatever that will be, because they have promised whatever we pay per year, we will get an NES game along with it that will have online features. They promised that. They've shown a screenshot. So yeah, we know that those two things are going hand in hand. I think that the reason the emulator is so good, you have to look at NERD, not the band, but an actual team that Nintendo hires to do their emulators, who is doing those, who made the Super Nintendo games work on the 3DS, who did not do the bad Super Nintendo emulation that you'll find on the Wii U. Or NES. The NES is way worse on the Wii U. And so there's like this good team that's actually talented and like gets this stuff, who Nintendo hires to do some stuff sometimes. I would hope that they would hire them to do the stuff for the Switch. I don't know if they have.
Yeah, where are what are those guys doing?
Are you talking about Nerd?
Yeah, what is Nerd doing?
They're part of they're over in Europe.
Yeah. And they're the ones who did the Super Nintendo classics. They're the one who did the NES classics. And for them, the rewind feature is just like they're a smart team. They're like, oh, we should add this. I don't know if that was Nintendo's idea. And so I don't know if that's the kind of stuff we'll see in the actual emulation that we see on the Switch, because there's this really talented team who's very good at what they do. And they were hired by Nintendo to do the emulation on the Super Nintendo. And so if they're involved with the Switch, yes, those features will be repeated. But I don't think it was a part of some effort of, we got to do these things on the Switch. It's taking too long. Let's just put these things out to fund the emulation we're building for the Switch. I don't think that's the case at all. That's where I'm coming from.
But has the NES and SNES Classic alleviated the wait? Alleviated your pain for the lack of Virtual Console? Are you content now
Can
waiting?
I be real with you?
Yeah.
I'm not feeling the thirst anymore.
For Virtual Console?
I don't need it.
Yeah, I'm quenched, man.
I'm pretty quenched right now.
I am quenched.
So the day comes out, you can get any Nintendo game, any Super Nintendo game. I'm like, I'm not going to download a thing.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
I've got it all, man.
Maybe the GameCube stuff would help, but really, like, I'm set.
N64 GameCube for sure, but like NES, Super Nintendo, dude, I'm so good.
Yeah.
I'm so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna channel a little inner Brad here.
Channel some Brad.
Achievements
Added to that Nintendo account online.
Okay.
So now
achievements for retro game.
There you
now
go.
we're talking.
There
Are
you
we
go.
really, though?
Now we're getting hyped.
What are you going to play for achievements?
Super Mario Brothers 3, bro. Beat
want
the
those?
entire game without using a whistle.
Are you going to do it?
Super
Hell yeah,
Mario
that
World.
one's doable.
First
Hell
one,
yeah.
96 exits. Super Mario World, 96 exits. Beat all the special levels.
Yeah.
There's going to be like time-based ones. They're going
That'd
to
be
be annoying.
fun.
They're going to be annoying.
Kyle's
achievements.
like, I don't want this.
Dude, you know I love trophies and achievements. Like, it gives games new life, new purpose.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
I think Nintendo thinks leaderboards are going to do it. Leaderboards won't. do it.
Leaderboards
Yeah,
are
no.
lame. Nobody wants leaderboards.
We don't want your leaderboards.
Yeah, get them out.
Stop investing any resources into
Any.
leaderboards. Stop that.
If your game has leaderboards,
Yeah.
rethink it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Odyssey. What's that feeling going to be like, though? The first time you go into like Super Mario Brothers 1, you complete the stage, you hit that flag, and a stupid little achievement thing goes top of the
just be
flag or something. You actually got to the top,
That's
and it was
gonna
your
feel
first
really
one,
good, yeah.
and it's got like a little like font with like a little background pop up in the middle of your classic game.
You know what
Is
it
it going to
should
feel
be?
good,
No.
or are you going to be like, what
I'll
are
tell you
they
right now.
doing?
I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
Game to game basis.
Oh, no.
So you get an achievement. You get an achievement in Mario.
Yeah. It looks like the Mario.
It's sound.
Yeah.
You get the coin sound or the 1-up sound. Bing.
It's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
Zelda. You get the treasure chest sound.
I mean, that'd be amazing, but that is a lot of work.
A lot of
for-
work. Well, guess what? They haven't been doing the work for the last 10 years that Sony and Microsoft have been doing with trophies and achievements, so it's time they put in a little extra overtime. Little debt past due, Nintendo.
Well,
So I didn't know you can just say nerd. NERD is just nerd. We just call
that's
it nerd.
that's what that's what they go by.
Okay, cool. Almost over now. Almost over now. And then that's NERD.
You can't beat me. I'm a rock star.
Yep.
I'm just gonna read this. We're not answering this.
Oh. Okay.
But because the person did not follow the rules and asked a
Oh.
non-Nintendo question.
Okay,
but
can't do this.
because you're a $5 patron, I'll read this.
Okay.
But you're a Nintendo podcast.
I don't follow the
Cody
rules.
I asks, "Hello, allies. I was wondering if you guys were like a villain in Persona 5. What style or genre would your palaces be? Love and respect, Cody."
Cody, you broke the rules.
It'd be a haunted mansion, mine.
Oh,
You were
I won't answer. I
You
won't
were
answer.
It'd
breaking
be
the
a
rules.
haunted mansion.
Respect the rules.
Well, Yeah, Persona 5 as of yet is not on a Nintendo platform, so
But
unfortunately.
the day it gets announced, we should bring it back.
We will bring back Cody I's question.
yes.
Top of the list.
The day Persona 5 gets announced, we'll bring it
Don't
back.
forget this, Cody.
All right.
Don't let us forget.
We owe you.
Persona 5 Golden.
Someone I think meant to DRD7014, I think meant to do a placeholder. They wrote question time. Doop da doop 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 doop.
Oh yeah.
And they forgot.
Doop.
And they forgot the question. So sorry about that. Last question here.
2 questions more.
2 more.
Okay, two more then.
Two more.
Two
Huber's in for 2 more.
Boom. Get an extra one.
First one, Toasty Soul.
Toasty! Sorry, I had to do it.
Nice. Very nice. I am blanking on everything today, Huber. I was literally about to say, like, oh, so-and-so. Like, the person who does it. And I was like, wow, I was like, it's not John Tobias, right?
Yes. Well done.
Jeez. I don't know why like all this like easy information just like
Noob Saibot.
like going out of yeah.
Cybot.
Anyway,
Saibot?
Noob Saibot.
Saibot, yeah.
The Switch is still going up, and the 3DS is clearly slowing down. With the last 3DS Pokemon game released, it seems that the 3DS is almost out of steam. However, at E3 this past year, Reggie Fils-Aimé stated that in 2018, yes, that 2018 would not be the end of the 3DS. I find this somewhat hard to believe, as the only games we know we are getting from them in 2018 are Kirby Battle Royale and Sushi Striker: The Way of Sushido.
That's it.
Do you think that Nintendo really is planning to support a 3DS for this amount of time? Just going to do the simple answer real quick. Reggie, they always have to say they're still developing stuff until someone says we're pulling the plug.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
they cannot, even
yeah.
if they know now that they're ending production or they're not making new games beyond like past spring of next year, they will not say that. In fact, companies are even paranoid about announcing new systems at a certain time when a current system's still doing well. It's like that might start killing that system. Like
seriously, do you even make PS5 now because PS4 is like still selling so well?
You make it right now.
Okay.
Yes. So here's the thing though: is there's 2 pretty big 3DS games that Nintendo developed with the Mario and Luigi remake of the original and the top 100 Mario Party games of all time. Those are 3DS exclusives that just came out.
So annoying.
And Samus Returns.
God, it's annoying.
Yeah. Well,
Samus Returns. Okay.
So in those 2 cases, I can see stuff like that continuing to come out in 2018. I don't think
little
we'll see,
supplementary games to
I don't
bigger
think we'll
games.
see anything on the Samus Returns
Gotcha.
level.
Okay.
But I do think we'll continue to see stuff like that on 3DS throughout the year.
Oh yeah, as long as it's still like moving units, that they got to put some software out there. But I think it's just like the PS2. Any great selling piece of hardware, video game hardware, they keep making it for a long time after it comes out.
Takes
if
a
it's
lot
a high
to put
sound,
Old Warhorse.
Yeah, 3DS was sold really well. So
put it out to pasture, dude. 3DS.
I think what people really want to see, I don't think it's death or the end of the 3DS. I think some people just want to see games coming to 3DS also available on Switch.
Yeah.
Just even if it's like some kind of port.
I just want it gone all together, man. Think about all those resources, Damiani. Think about all those teams, all that money, all that just all the focus.
No, you're wrong though. Nintendo already consolidated their console and handheld. Like they're all part of the same team now.
But he's saying,
but they still have to focus on it. They still have to focus on 3DS.
I forgot. There is a new Dylan. There's another Dylan's Rolling Western.
But that's Japan only right now, or is it coming here?
It is Japan only.
Okay.
But yeah, it's another 3DS.
Like I don't want Nintendo even thinking about 3DS.
But like Samus was developed by Mercury Steam. It wasn't even internal, so they doled it out.
But there's still like Nintendo publishing and advertising, and like that's still a ton of people focused on this 3DS game when they could be putting all their resources, all their hype into Virtual Console or Switch.
I don't know if those people are necessarily going to have any impact on Virtual Console.
Debt past due, Damiani.
Debt past due. Switch. Pay up. Pound of flesh.
Switch is doing very well. It's not like they're suffering and need more help.
Yeah.
I think they're doing just fine on that. But
I'm also coming from a place of I don't like handhelds as much as the next person. So there's
there's
definitely a little bitter bias coming off here.
I'll go with you on this. 2018, a new Zelda is announced and it's on 3DS only. I will be very mad.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Like Samus was a little bit of a disappointment, but I get it. 3DS is still selling well. Switch at the time when they probably made a decision to greenlight that, Switch probably wasn't out just yet, so they're like, we don't know how well Switch is gonna do. 3DS has a huge install base. Let's go with the safe bet here.
Like, I get it. I get that there are two drastically different versions of Dragon Quest XI, PS4 and 3DS. Why not just have the Switch version? Why not have that handheld version on the Switch?
So that's really interesting. Because I was thinking about this. I think
why?
I think a lot of handheld games, a lot of 3DS games, actually will look cheap if you just port it straight to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the fear. Like the new Kirby game that is coming out next year is basically a 3DS port. And still, they got to add a certain level. They got to keep adding and adding to make it more than a 3DS port. And I think they're scared to just put up straight 3DS ports on the Switch.
3DS is a really low resolution when compared to Switch.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Just skip the 3DS version of Dragon Quest XI altogether and make a Switch version.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I get you.
3DS Dragon Quest XI is never coming out over in the West.
3DS?
3DS Dragon Quest XI?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll never come out over here.
Never?
No.
Dragon Quest 9 came, baby. They re-released. What were they doing this whole time? Releasing Dragon Quest 7 and 8.
As soon as the Switch version, whatever the heck's going on with that, is resolved, it's just going to be the Switch version that comes out over here.
Unannounced, unconfirmed Switch version.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that anymore. Like, who knows at this point. But if that version does eventually come out, we're not getting two versions of Dragon Quest XI in the West.
Yeah. Okay.
You're getting just one.
All right.
Yeah, that's another point, Damiani. There's so much overlap now with the Switch and 3DS because the portability. Hang it up. Hang it up, 3DS. You've had your fun in the sun. You've had your time. You've done your victory laps. You're counting your checks all the way to the bank. Hang it up.
Keep chugging, 3DS. Keep chugging. Keep chugging.
Last question, baby.
One more.
The last one.
One more, too.
After this one,
well, it depends on how crunchy this one is.
Okay, yeah.
If this is a soft taco.
Yeah, then we'll ask for a crunch.
Ibrahim Sozer.
Okay.
Thoughts on the lack of third-party multiplayer games on the Switch? Do you think this is because of the Nintendo app or waiting for the paid online service?
Dude, I forgot about the Nintendo app.
Yeah. I forgot
about that thing.
I have it on this phone. I haven't touched it except the one time to see if it worked with Splatoon 2, and that was about it.
I'd say Rocket League is the biggest third-party multiplayer game. I think Doom has its its multiplayer in there. You have to install it separately and everything, but yeah, Doom's got it.
You had an answer once, Kyle, about like the online community.
We were talking about FIFA.
Yeah, we're talking about FIFA. Your answer there, I think, still rings true with this.
Yeah.
You know what Nintendo should do right now? Sorry, this is off base, but this just popped into my head right now.
What do you got?
We're talking about multiplayer games for Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about zeitgeists.
Yes.
We're talking about market trends. Mm-hmm. We're talking about battle royales.
Mm-hmm.
Mushroom Kingdom Battle Royale. Let's go.
What am I?
You are a choice. You are a Koopa. You are a Toad. You are a Hammer Bro.
I get to be a hammer. Then everyone's a hammer bro.
There's got to be some weaknesses, some drawbacks. Like
There's
it's inconsistent.
Oh, they have terrible movement.
Yeah, you have no accuracy. So you have rate of fire, but you have no accuracy.
Okay.
Nintendo first party battle royale game.
I'm in.
Waiting to happen.
I'm in.
Waiting to be the next zeitgeist.
Doesn't solve the third party thing, though.
Sorry, yeah.
But a good idea, Huber.
So
I
presume what we're talking about is GTA, and we're talking about Battlefront 2, and we're talking about Destiny 2, when we talk about big third-party multiplayer games.
Destiny 2 would have been a big get.
And Nintendo just, the paid online's not there. Who knows how well their online infrastructure actually is.
Do you think when the online service comes up next year, there will be a bigger push for it?
Will Call of Duty be on the Switch next year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially now
there
with all
will
the
be a
hype
Call
of
of Duty
Switch?
on Switch next year.
Okay.
Yes.
Dude, I think so too.
100%.
Cool.
100% there will be.
We just think it just wasn't ready.
I think the other thing is, with all the work going into just getting single player to work, I haven't looked at Doom multiplayer, but Rocket League's multiplayer online matches are rough on the Switch.
Oh.
It is a noticeable downgrade from the offline modes. The visual fidelity takes a hit on the online modes on the Switch. It was a noticeable dip there.
Yeah, part of me thinks it'll just never be there. I don't think it'll ever be a strength of the console. I mean, Mario Kart you can play online, and I guess it works. But yeah, I think online multiplayer is never going to be like. I mean, Splatoon.
Dude,
again,
I was just thinking, man. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty, Kyle.
Yeah.
And the reason I play so much Hearthstone is because it's on my phone.
Yep.
And it's 5-minute games.
Okay.
Call of Duty is that when I'm at my house. Okay, follow me here.
Okay.
It is a nice hop in for a game. 10-minute investment, scratchy itch, hop in, kill some Nazis, kill some dudes, move on. And it has that addictive progression of like leveling up your guns, getting XP. If that was on my Switch to go, that is something I would be so down for. Like hopping in for Call of Duty matches just real quick at a time, like 10-minute matches, getting that sense of progression, like you accomplish something. Like I think that
I take it
could
back.
be so big.
I
think the problem though is when your Switch is on the go, the ability it has to connect to Wi-Fi, so you need a Wi-Fi hotspot. It doesn't use cellular networks.
Yeah,
so
but I mean,
like it doesn't do 4G, LTE, anything like that.
People are playing Splatoon. People are playing ARMS. People are playing Mario Kart. Like I think people will get used to playing the Switch online. I think it'll happen.
Yeah, I think people just need to craft the right types of multiplayer game experiences on Switch.
Yeah,
and third parties. Earlier, someone asked about like what third parties struggling. They're rushing to make games on Switch. That's the first thing. Like companies got to figure out what games they want to put on Switch now that they know they will sell well, and then it'll be interesting to see what they come up with for those who want to go with the multiplayer. Because especially by the time next year, hopefully we'll have all Nintendo's online. All that will be sorted out. Hopefully, publishers will know what's the deal, and they're like, all right, I know what I can do with the online now on Switch. I can make a game more crafted towards the Switch experience, but also utilizes like online, and it still be, and people be like, yeah, I want to play that online. That's a game I want to play online on the Switch. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe Kyle's right. Like it's maybe perhaps the Switch. Yeah, it just doesn't lend itself that well to it, with a few exceptions. Like the zeitgeist of first party Nintendo stuff is like the highest it will ever reach with that. So, yeah, we'll have to see.
I don't.
When's the?
I'm gonna go out there again though. I don't think Destiny will ever be on the Switch.
Oh no, I don't. I don't think Destiny will ever be on there. I don't think any of EA's like Battlefront or Battlefield
next year.
Yeah, Battlefield will not be on.
Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty on the Switch.
Because they have done it before.
They did Wii U versions even. Yeah.
GameCube, dude, big red one. Let's go.
Okay.
I do think that companies are going to make specific versions for Switch if they rule out. Like,
then why are you saying not for EA? Why don't you think EA will do it?
I think they have strained their Nintendo.
EA's got bigger problems.
Yeah. Well, it's more about like EA's offerings in the past, like this unprecedented relationship. It's like a meme. EA has not been like the best.
They did
Nintendo.
FIFA this year.
Here's a question.
Okay.
Will Metal Gear Survive be on Switch?
Never.
No.
Never. Never.
Oh. Yeah, they did FIFA. Oh, cool.
FIFA's the biggest game of the year.
It is.
Every single year, biggest game.
FIFA. And they said that's the best it's gonna be is what they did.
Wait, what they said?
They said they put a lot of effort into it,
okay.
They did all that. Do you think they're gonna in next year, instead of making a downgraded version of FIFA 19, they're gonna make a whole unique FIFA for Switch?
Yeah.
You really think they put their resources into that?
They're gonna do that.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I wonder.
0%.
I wonder if they got enough return. And by
I
the
would
way,
take this bet.
we know it's not the best-selling game every year. We know.
EA will throw downgraded ports at Switch, and they will not develop original games for Switch. Would be my bet. I think Ubisoft of all the companies, I'll put the most support behind it.
Yeah.
Ubisoft will be number one.
Good relationship.
Square Enix, I think Square Enix will do a lot with them. Bandai Namco, I don't think he's gonna do any original, but they will probably have like almost all their games will probably come there.
I think they've actually openly said they want to do more Switch stuff.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco.
Sega,
Capcom.
definitely see Sega, and now Capcom, because it's you're looking at a lower budget possibly for the development for Switch, just a Switch type a game just for Switch, versus something that needs to run 1080 60 or even more now, like 4K stuff's like. Yo, that the
8K release in Japan. You see
I'd love to see. I'd love to
you see it? Just released in Japan, 8K.
Sure. I'd love to see
There's 10K now.
Sonic Mania. I'd love to see how that did on Switch as opposed to other consoles. I wanted to say though, we know for sure. Back to the beginning of this podcast, EA cares to put its indie games on the Switch.
Okay.
It's EA Originals.
Okay, EA Originals.
Because we know
Okay.
Faye is coming to the Switch
Yes.
because of what leaked. And so I do think you'll see continued EA support. But you're right, maybe not their biggest big games.
The big budget.
But they
games.
know the Faye's probably best chance at finding success was going to be on
Oh
Switch.
yeah.
Like an Unravel 2 on
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah, like that's the spot for it.
Yeah, I think it's a given now that any kind of lower budget or indie game is coming to Switch. Like, and it's probably gonna be like the best selling version on there.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. You know,
It's good.
It's good stuff for Switch.
Good.
But I would like to see. I definitely would like to see teams being set aside to make Switch games just for Switch. From like all the big third party publishers. I get it. Like we're probably not gonna get like Final Fantasy 16 if it's like a technical masterpiece is probably not coming to Switch.
But Ace Attorney is.
But Ace Attorney is.
Yeah.
But a new type, like remember they did Crystal Chronicles and stuff.
Oh no, not like that,
But
dude. No.
now they're gonna be like, hey, those games didn't sell well because they weren't real, like they weren't like more traditional Final Fantasy games.
Right.
Well, so we'll make Final Fantasy 16 proper. Like we'll have one team working on that. We will make like a more mainline style Final Fantasy on Switch.
Yeah, it's called Project Octopath Traveler.
Oh dear.
got
I mean,
it.
that's a good game,
Yeah.
but that's that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a 3D Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy 16 Lite or something.
Okay.
Do you think that's possible? I would like to see that, but that is a tall order. I get that's a little ridiculous.
Nintendo would have to just front up some money, much like Sony's doing with a bunch of games.
Like
They
Dragon
would
Quest 12's
Yeah.
Switch. Take that.
No.
They're just like
Because 12 is so far away. It's going to be the next Nintendo
Quest
console.
12.
It's gonna be the next PlayStation and next
Yeah.
Nintendo console. Yeah, boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
will it get to a point where companies just like, hey, screw the Xbox PC? I mean, you still put a Switch type of game on PC, but screw the Xbox and PS4 versions. Like they can look like Switch is the lead platform.
Yeah.
So they
There's
won't be
gonna
visual.
You know
like
how
yeah.
Huber's annoyed with a 3DS right now.
Yeah.
There's going to be a time not too long from now we're going to be annoyed by the Switch versions. Of
Yeah.
things. Absolutely.
Why does it look
Put it
so
out.
bad?
Put it out to pasture.
Yeah, hang it
We're
up.
gonna be like, I only use my Switch in my bathroom. We're only 3 years away from that.
Yeah.
We're only 3 years away from that.
That moment when Huber crosses that line, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a good day.
I keep it in my bathroom whenever I'm in there.
It's just it's just in my sink. It falls in. Who cares? Lost cause. Was that good enough, Crunchy?
That was pretty crunchy.
That's pretty
Pretty
crunchy.
crunchy?
Yeah. It's
All
a
right.
risk if you go again because the next one could be a soft taco.
Yeah, very true. So thank you again for everyone who submitted questions. And how do you submit questions for Friend Code? If you are a $5 and up patron, the week that we were recording, I put up a post calling for submissions for Patrons Pulse. Look for that post and you can submit your question. As you can see, I don't always go in order. This was a special episode, so I went in order, so didn't get to your question. That's why. I just went in the sequential order this time. I wanted to reward people who got their questions in early. But in general, I pick 2 questions for each episode, trying to pick the best questions I think will generate good discussion. And if you don't get your question picked, it's probably because we either talked about the subject, I anticipate we were already going to cover that in the natural discussion of the episode, or we're going to have a future episode which is going to cover that and don't want to dive into it too soon. But again, yeah, really good questions. Thank you to everyone for that. I want to thank you both for joining me today.
No problem.
On a Saturday. Recording it late this week. But good stuff. Good stuff. And with that, I'm going to leave you with words of wisdom. May the way of the hero lead to the trifle.